When I started to embrace what it meant to be a British Royals commentator, one of the concepts that really caught my attention was the royal family's never complain, never explain. Even if it may sound too black and white, it's one of the greatest lessons that you can apply for your own life, and I'm going to show you why. Welcome back, my Battle Language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language guy, and it would be great if you join us by just liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell. Let's get down to it. Never complain, never explain has been a communication strategy used by Her Majesty the Queen for almost 7 decades. In essence, it's about ignoring critics and dismissing their claims by your silence rather than becoming defensive. Now, this unofficial motto has a lot of applications for the royal family, especially when there have been so many events that have shaken it lately. There has been this long-standing tradition in the royal family to just wait for criticism to fade, keep your head down, keep doing your work, and understand that in most cases it's best to save energy and just play the long game. But one thing is how it's worked for them, and another thing is how can we apply it for ourselves. And I want to emphasize the do not explain part. And this is especially relevant in an era in which it's so easy to be criticized by all the channels that you can imagine. You don't need to be on social media for this, because the moment you do something that is in the slightest way controversial for most people, then you can be excluded from society in the most creative ways. It's unpredictable to the point that your opinions can set yourself ablaze without warning. For example, you might say that you don't like kids and don't want to have them, and people might say, okay, fine by me. But don't you dare say that you don't like puppies and will never have one, because you'll be taken with a digital straitjacket to the nearest Twitter bonfire. And this is a problem that I see all the time. Now more than ever, we feel like we're being judged, especially if you are on social media. Most of the time, it's not about what you do, but what you see others doing. For example, if everyone likes pepperoni pizza and you like pineapple pizza, you might see that on Facebook or Instagram or even WhatsApp groups, everyone is talking about their beloved pepperoni pizza because it's the most common thing, so to speak. The fact that your tastes in pizza are an outlier to society's standards and you are constantly exposed to other people's behaviors and tastes, it raises the odds that you might want to explain your decision to eat pineapple pizza whenever you can choose. This could sound like a really crazy example, but sadly, it's one of the reasons people's mental health begins to suffer. Because we all want to be part of a tribe, and this applies to society. This is a natural drive for every human being. Even if you don't want to be part of society, then, in some way, you want to be part of the tribe of those who don't want to have anything to do with society. In the end, you want to be part of a group, and whether you like it or not, you'll end up being part of one. Of course, there's always dissenting. Maybe you hold opinions that are contrary to some beliefs of the tribe that you've chosen, or maybe the beliefs of your family. That could be a more difficult scenario. But as long as your decisions and actions do not harm others, you don't really have to explain your decisions. You don't have to explain your actions. And this is why a very easy formula to remember. You don't have to explain yourself because your friends do not need your explanations. Your true friends know that you're not that much crazy, so they will trust whatever you decide for yourself. On the other hand, your enemies, haters, trolls, everyone that just wants you to fail, no matter how much you explain your intentions to try to change their mind, to try to win them over, you will fail. You will just waste your energy because they are not going to believe you. And whoever is not a friend or an enemy will not understand what the hell are you talking about, much less care about what you say. Yeah, it sounds a bit extreme, but it's one of the healthiest ways to live. There will always be people really close to you that can actually be affected by your decisions. And in that case, it makes sense to explain and even negotiate. After all, not everyone likes pineapple pizza. But if they are aware that you want only the best for them and you have a record of acting in a righteous way, I bet that they will not need explanations either. I'm talking about a strategy for interactions with your tribe, with society, with the public. Even if you act in ways that people do not approve or find unconventional, or they are simply bothered because you think and act different, 99% of the people do not deserve that you spend energy mapping out your decisions. We could save so much time from not engaging in stupid internet discussions if we understood this. But I must say that I have made that mistake in the past. I've wanted to prove my point, to prove the world that I'm right. But it never led me to anywhere. I understand that if someone challenges you and you don't explain and just go silent about it, you may think about that statement that says silence is consent. That is just wrong. In 99% of the time, it will only be a waste of energy. There is another downside to explaining, and it's that you become too self-aware of your own decisions. When you explain yourself, you really dive into details that you usually don't pay that much attention to. If this sounds like overthinking, it's because it can actually trigger overthinking. You start to second guess your decisions, your actions, your tastes, your preferences, and in the worst case scenario, even your own personality, because you begin to wonder if it's actually worth it to be the outlier of the group. I know that this is fresh grounds for many people to come at me and tell me that I'm wrong. But I'm going to lead by example, and no, I'm not going to explain myself about this stance. It's absolutely okay to dissent, but I really suggest that you try what I'm about to tell you. Just give it a single shot and find out if this could work for you. Try to remember one time of your life that things could have gone a different way just by not explaining your decisions or actions. I'm sure there will be plenty of examples in your life. Try to imagine what would have happened if you didn't explain. At the same time, it's important that you really remember this next time. Consider the possibility of not having to explain what you're going to do, or your preferences, or even if someone tells you that you're wrong. Think about your own energy and try to be absolutely honest when you assess the right for others to demand any explanation of your actions. Will you really be able to change their mind? Is that going to benefit you in any way? This is part of my philosophy, and it's something that I haven't said in a long time, but here it goes. You don't have to believe a word I say. That's okay. I have no problem with that. What I always suggest is that if my words spark your curiosity in the slightest way, then give it a try. The worst that can happen is that nothing happens. You prove your point, and none of us spent any energy on a pointless discussion. But I'm sure you're going to like the feeling. A feeling of small liberation, a tiny taste of freedom. And if it works for you, make sure that you share it with others. If you want to refine your observation skills, all you have to do is download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas, and it will always be a pleasure, my body language buddies. Much love and bliss.